Got any more sweet, innocent little kitchen appliances for me? Well, well, what have we got here? Another innocent little toaster. Come here. I won't hurt you. Ha! Gotcha! Oh yes, the sweet smell of spilled electric guts. The sparking diodes. I fucking live for this!
QuakeCon has showed off quite the amount of new information for Fallout 76, mostly about progression and character building. Now in the interviews and the game trailers that we've seen thus far, they've gone over the perk card system. Now, the perk card system is almost like the star cards from Battlefront 2. With these perk cards, what you basically do is you have the special, the 5 letters of special, SPECIAL, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And every time you level up, you put a point into that into one letter of the special. So say you want charisma, which they went into, and with the uses of it. But say you put a point into charisma, you pick from a selection of 2 or 3 perk cards, say Lone Wanderer, or Animal Friend, or Wasteland Whisperer, stuff like that. I don't know. They didn't go too deep into the different perks. Kind of just showed a couple of different things and then went from there. You get that perk card and it goes into a slot. I believe they said you can hold up to 15 cards on a specific special attribute. Now, what they said you could do is when you level up, you are able to pick a card and say you're like, Lone Wanderer is really good. Let me upgrade Lone Wanderer by picking it again. And you pick the same card, you combine them, and they make a more powerful version of that perk. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you use these cards, you have a specific amount of points that you're able to have. So you can't just have like this overpowered badass of a character. When you upgrade a card, they become more powerful, but they use up more points to have equipped. Another thing they mentioned about perks are card packs. Now when I heard this, I was like, oh no, don't be like, oh, you can buy the perk packs. I was scared that Todd Howard was going to say that. He didn't say anything about that. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be, but the thought is there. These perk packs come out, you get them at first till level 10, you get them every 2 levels. So level 2, you get a perk pack. And they have 3 cards and a pack of gum. The perk cards you can just choose from one of them, and you'll have it there. You'll have your perk card in your inventory. And it doesn't take weight. It's like your perk. It's sort of like unchosen perks. You can swap them out at will, but you have to have the certain amount of agility or whatever to use it. Now, with the pack of gum, basically what that does is well, for one, when you open up the pack, you go through, you see the pack of gum, and it's got a joke in it. So, funny joke. The joke they had for an example was, my wife loves a guy in a suit, his name was Boris, or something like that. But the gum, when you consume it, if you have your character chew it, will reduce hunger for a short amount of time. They also emphasized what the use of charisma is going to be in this interview. Because in a multiplayer game where there's no NPCs, there's no reason for charisma, right? No. The way that they mentioned it is charisma is the ability to give your team, if you're wandering with a team, there are certain benefits that your perks can have on your team. Say you have Scrounger, which was one of them that they use for an example, which is one of them that they use for an example. If you have Scrounger, your teammates benefit from Scrounger. So if you go up to a container, you're like, oh, I found 400,000 rounds of 5.56. Hello. Your friend can go, oh, I also found that thing that you said right there. So that's the use of charisma, is to assist your other teammates. If you're a solo player, then it will be a little less useful, unless you use Lone Wanderer, which they did say was in the game. They also mentioned that when you're playing and you're like, I don't really like what my character looks like, you can change it on the fly. You'll be able to change it whenever. Like, say you're like, I picked a man, but I don't know, maybe I'll be a woman. You could change it right there. Just change it. They also mentioned mutations, which this was also fairly interesting to me. The mutations, they have been mentioned before, but they weren't delved into in very great detail. They will give you a benefit as well as a detriment. The one that the guy mentioned, I apologize, I forgot his name, was called Bird Bones. I believe it was Bird Bone. And it allowed him to jump higher, but he could carry less. Now, the way you get mutations is if you have high levels of radiation. So radiation is really the basis for these mutations. So I found all this information really interesting, and there's a lot to go in. I also saw a glimpse of a new weapon, a crossbow, which offers some interesting things. Stealth weapon, possible explosive arrow. I would like to see that. But that's just what I picked up on. If you guys like what you see, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the things that I post. Share it with your friends. We're getting up there in subscribers, and I'd like to see this channel grow into something greater. I'll see you guys in the next one.